Hi, my name's Melissa Corbett and I am one of the newsreaders here at BBC Radio Gloucestershire. You might have heard me on The Breakfast Show with Mark Cummings and I read the bulletins. Now, as a newsreader, a lot of people think that you work for 5 minutes every hour, but that's actually not the case at all, and it's a really busy role. So I start at 4:45, so 4:45 in the morning, and I come in and check the answer phone is the first thing to see if there's been any road traffic collisions, anyone taken to hospital by ambulance, and if there's been any fires in the county. Next, you go on to the emails and go through all of those hundreds of emails that have come through overnight. There's a lot of different ways that we actually gather our news, some through Twitter to tell us what's been going on in the county. There's things called press releases, which agencies send us to tell us of news and promotions that they've got coming up. And there's also what's called the news wires, which is basically a big database nationally, which is where we get a lot of our national news that you'd see on the BBC News channel. Once we've got all the information that we need in order to write the story, it's my job to write it up into a bulletin, make sure that it's easy to understand and that it all makes sense. We also add some audio clips. A lot of the interviews we do ourselves and some we get again from the national news wires, and then we make it into a bulletin which gets read out from the studio in here. Now, we compile the bulletin by putting what is the most important story at the top, and one of the things that we often work to as to what's our most important story, what should be the top story of the day, is what's everyone talking about down the pub. And if we think it'll get people talking, then often you'll find that it's higher up the bulletin, and there's occasionally at the bottom what we call an "and finally," which is a nice, often quite funny story or something that will just make you smile. So at the end of the bulletin you can go away and tell your friends that when you get into work.